YouTube, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Thundering Dice Brothers. Our continuing mission to explore strange new shows, to seek out good ideas and call out bad, and to boldly give criticism as none have done before. Alright, Earthlings, welcome back to the Thundering Dice channel with your boys, the Thundering Dice Brothers, and today is a very special game stream of consciousness because you people on Earth have circled the sun one more time since we started this channel, since we started observing you from our secret space station behind the moon. And you know, we've been observing you people in your habitats and your houses, scribbling about your small, pointless, meaningless lives and watching small, pointless, meaningless fantasy television shows on small, pointless, meaningless streaming services. Although in your lives, they're monopolies, they're not small, pointless, or meaningless. So we're going to deign to come down to your level and tell you why TV sucks today through the lens of aliens watching fantasy on your streaming services. If that makes sense. Without further ado, Anniversary GameStream of Consciousness Bullshit of the Year edition commences.
That was a pretty funny intro, actually. That worked well.
Oh, I hope
but
so.
No, yeah. Bullshit commences on, why TV sucks in the year 2025. My God, there's a plethora of reasons.
How do I possibly have 2 kills? I don't think I killed a single zombie.
Well, if it's any consolation, I don't remember killing 5. I was just laughing at your intro, so let's just say subconsciously you knew what to do whilst you were speaking the truth.
I guess.
And as aliens, we are higher ordered beings anyway. Just like as when you cut off a chicken's head, it is just a higher order vegetable. We are higher order humans.
Quite so, quite so.
But no, yeah, like, dude, modern frickin' TV. I just finished watching season 4 of The Witcher.
I guess we shouldn't say modern TV because there is good TV. Let's say
that's actually true. A lot
adaptations.
Yeah, modern adaptations. That's especially modern adaptations. That's the best way of probably putting it. Because like, there's no after Lord of the Rings. I mean, the movies, and then Game of Thrones for what, like 4 or 5 seasons where they more or less stuck with the plot points. I mean, more or less they did stretch.
While there was a plot to follow.
Yeah, there was a plot to follow. It seems like after that, it all just like crumbles. Because I mean, like if you talk about, I mean, like since I just said, like The Witcher, the first season is pretty faithful to the first book. Now, I don't know about the rest of the seasons, I mean, the rest of the books, because I haven't read them, but I've only read the first one. But I know that they get increasingly more off of it, and then everything with Ciri and Yennefer overshadowing Geralt is, well, that's just, you know, that's modern television at its finest and shit like that. But I mean, like, but then, you know, fucking Wheel of Time. We both know that story way too well, and, well, they didn't follow that at all, and we saw what happened.
Wah! I was gonna come save you, but
that's all right. I'm slaying. Ooh, look, there's an insta kill. And then Rings of Power. Well, just fuck that.
Yeah. So stop moving. God damn it! What are you doing?
I'm not moving anymore. I'm fucking stationary. That was the...
Yeah. So when we're really talking about these adaptations, we are focusing kind of on those 2 big ones, and then you included The Witcher as well because you're more familiar with that story, the books, etc. than I am. But yeah, so Wheel of Time, we know that experiment failed. Mm-hmm. Rings of Power. It's difficult to even call it an adaptation sometimes.
Yeah, because
an adaptation means like you're adapting a story. They're not really adapting a story. They're taking a history textbook, picking and choosing moments out of it, and then squishing them together to create a different story. So it's not so much an adaptation as it is a bastardization of a story.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah. It's not even like, you're not adapting a book to a screen, because
no.
It's not
no,
the same
no,
kind.
they're
It's not a book. It is a book, but it's not a book.
Well, no, it's not even a book. They're adapting, like, the appendages of Lord of the Rings, which is basically, it's a history text. I mean, it's like in the year 1, this happened. In the year 600, this happened. In the year 1300, this happened.
Yeah, it would be
so
like taking a U.S. history textbook and just being, I'm going to make a movie out of this textbook, and we're going to have George Washington fight terrorists on 9/11.
Oh my god, no, dude, actually, I want to see that in, like, a fucking, like, American Dad skit or something. Like, I don't know, but I really want to see that.
Vampire Hunter, why not?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Commando George Washington.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can have Arnold Schwarzenegger play him.
Yeah. With
You've
the
been
accent
liberated.
and everything. Come with me if you want to live. Just bring in all the great tropes. Oh my god, dude. Seriously, someone make that happen for us. Your alien overlords would be so pleased. We might even decide to give you some healthcare.
We're getting bored of your faithless adaptations and your prequel, sequel shitswolls.
Yeah, we really are. I mean, like they're just like, it's see, this is like the thing. I mean, like, I kind of wonder sometimes, like, I mean, it's like, I know that it's possible to make a faithful adaptation. Lord of the Rings proved it. So you have to have, like, a lot of, like, love and care and shit like that. But I kind of wonder, in, like, today's modern world, is it possible to make a faithful adaptation? What the balls?
Why would it matter if it was modern or not? Do you think that, like, because there will be politics in the adaptation, it's going to mess with the source material too much? You know, like, is that what you mean by modern, or you mean just in general? Is it difficult to do it? Because it should be easier now, more easier now than ever, because studios have more money, audiences are more primed to watch adaptations and high fantasy sort of stories. CGI has finally gotten to a part where, oh god damn it, where fantasy creatures and fantasy magic and stuff like that can be shown accurately on a screen in really cool ways. So it should be easier than ever now, and yet we're worse at it than we were before. I mean, for better or worse, sometimes those old adaptations of, like, Dune were pretty darn faithful, even if they were real cheesy and hokey. Same thing with, like, some of the cartoon adaptations of Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
you know, some of those are, like, actually very faithful.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I think it's, like, kind of, it's a function of multiple of what you talked about. Like, one of them is the like the overuse of computers in modern television, like, you know, CGI, all those other type of things. They, like, I swear, the crutch became so great that it became a hindrance to actually, like, creating a real world to a certain respect. And it's not like, I mean, like magic scenes, yeah, like they've gotten a lot better, and you can definitely do a lot of cool things with magic, and, you know, like the fight scenes, and when it's done correctly, it's pretty freaking fantastic. I've seen multiple cool fight scenes with magic on television that actually work pretty well. I mean, like, ironically, it's the one thing that Willow, the TV show, got right. There's one fucking fight scene between the main stupid character and Warwick Davis. It's more like a practice session. I'm pretty sure, like, when they're trying to fight with magic and stuff like that. But it actually looks really cool. It was kind of a surprise. I was like, damn, they got one thing right in a whole sea of in awfulness. But I think, like, the reason why it just doesn't happen is because modern studios are just obsessed with, like, 8-episode really simple plot lines. Everything has to be, like, if you can't watch a show, I mean, like, in America today, like, all shows are like, created so you can watch it and scroll on fucking,
which is awful,
TikTok, basically, at the same time.
Really awful.
Yeah. So, like, that's, like, the main thing. Like, until you get rid of that and actually bring back stories that have depth, and you have to think about it, and you have to actively watch it, and it isn't just 5-second sound bites, you know, like, they actually take, like, a 30-minute time block to tell one part of the story or before moving on, until you really get rid of those constraints that the studios just put on all the creative people in the show and in the space, you're just going to get these hollow out fantasy wannabe cosplay shows that feel more like bad fan art than these multi-million-dollar episode budget blockbusters that should just wow the pants off you.
I think it's amazing that you can have a very complex story in a 3-hour movie and yet studios fail to weave complexity and depth into an 8-hour television show.
Yes.
You know, like when you think about it, let's just, you know, we started a lot of our discussions on this channel focusing on the Wheel of Time, so let's go there.
Yeah.
You would think that you should be able to tell most of a story in 8 hours from just one book, right? You should be able to tell all of the Eye of the World in one book, because when you break down what in one season fairly well, without adding and without taking too much stuff away, you think about it: Winter's Night, the flight from Emmons Field, escape across the river, go to Bear Lawn, escape the terrors there, get separated at Shadar Logoth, reunite down the road in Camelin, travel together to Faldara, and then go to the Eye of the World and defeat the threat there. Those are the main plot points, broad strokes of the first book, right? I didn't miss anything big.
No, that's the broad strokes. I mean, like, the only thing I would add, I mean, and this is more like little thing, is just like the little bit that happened with Egwene and Perrin with the White Cloaks, but that's why I said that's like little, not like broad.
That is. Oh damn, we should get out of here. That is actually really important. But yeah,
let's get out of here.
I feel like those main points, you should be able to hit all those points in 8 hours. Oh dang, of television, right?
Oh yeah, like
and
easily.
And somehow it still wasn't great, and it still felt like at certain points rushed, and at certain points too slow. And of course, having COVID interfere with the whole filming, and having one of your main characters, one of the Emmons Field Wonder Boys, have to be recast and leave at the end of the season, well, that's just not ideal. No doubt about it. I can't argue with the difficulties there. But that's a lot of time to tell that story when you consider the fact that the Lord of the Rings was able to tell the whole trilogy, which is really one book, into one essentially 9-hour season. Yeah, if you want to think about it that way, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is 9 hours. You could break that up into 9 episodes. That's an entire book in about the length of the Eye of the World in one episode. Or one season, excuse me. So it's doable with plenty of depth, faithful adaptations, characters you care about, plot lines that move, that are given both times to breathe, don't feel rushed, make you care about characters that you know aren't going to die, but you're still worried for them and their outcomes anyway. That's the kind of stuff that the Wheel of Time just failed on. And not instantly setting up Rand as the main character was just foolish. I don't. They didn't need to add any mystery to it. I mean, really, when you're reading the book, the whole damn first part of the book is literally told from Rand's perspective the whole time. Unless you think that Robert Jordan was going to pull some kind of an epic fuck or switcheroo to you and then make it so that Nynaeve was the dragon or something instead of Rand, he was always the main character in the beginning. It wasn't really up for debate. I don't think anyway. I wasn't worried about it. And to be fair, when I first read The Wheel of Time, The Eye of the World, it was many years ago. So my direct first impressions aren't reliable anymore. My memories of my first impressions aren't as reliable as they might be because I've had so many more fresh perspectives come at me since I've reread the books. But I don't ever think I ever thought that it wasn't Rand who was the main character reading that book. I wasn't confused about that in my memory.
No. It was, like that was always painfully obvious.
That was a waste of time. Adding extra, like, stuff for the Wonder Girls to do as well was a waste of time. Taking away Rand's thunder moment at the end of the movie, or end of the book, was a waste of character, a waste of time. It just... When you need to hit the ground running, like, imagine if Lord of the Rings, if the first movie had been an absolute failure. Like, thank God they made all 3, but what if it had been just like an epic letdown, and now we had to slog through 2 more, and that's basically how the first season felt. It was such a huge letdown because there was so much good stuff there that they didn't include. They added more stuff. They changed things around. They decided that the girls had to have a bigger part than Rand did. I could keep going. For further in-depth discussion of this topic, please see our previous videos, where we've gone through hours and hours of what went wrong.
Yeah, where we went through all of Season 3, episode by episode, did a Season 1-2 breakdown, and did a full breakdown of the 3-season arc in a GameStream and in a few other streams. Yes, we have definitely like run this gauntlet. Like,
Yeah.
that was a pretty good recap of like one of the main problems with Wheel of Time. Yeah, neutering Rand and elevating the women to a retardedly high position for no good reason.
And it was such a shame because to those of you who are new to the channel, we are massive Wheel of Time fans. It was such an exciting thing to hear that this was going to come to the screen. We had grown up with those books. I mean, we're a little bit like I was reading them as they were being released. Towards the end, at least, of the release cycle, you know, after Robert Jordan died and Brandon Sanderson took over.
I was lucky enough to not have to do that. I was lucky enough just to be able to not speed read, but to take a 6-month block and read all 14 books at once.
Which must have been just epic.
Oh my god, it was so much. Well, do you remember I was like texting you and shit like that. I was like, "Who the fuck just died? What happened?" Or like what's going on? Or like Rand can't be dead, or like how is he gonna get out of this? Or like, oh my god, do my well. It's like, holy shit, this was the best use of magic I've ever seen so far. Oh my god, I love this. Kill the Aiel.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean,
oh goddamn, reloading. Yes, Dumai's Wells was I remember you reading all that, and I wish I had someone to like geek out with when I was reading it, because I didn't know anybody at the time who was also reading those books.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that I could just constantly like talk to you about it and just, you know, like, share the geekdom in real time.
So for all those reasons, you know, it was such a disappointment to watch the first season just sort of fail right away. And then we had all that hope for season 2, and season 2 was possibly even a bigger letdown than season 1 was.
Yes.
And then
it was better television than season 1, but
it departed so much
even
more.
Worse.
Yeah. And then season 3, it was a lot of let's get back on track, course correction, and then the cancellation.
Yes.
So and season 3 had the best episode of the season for sure. Episode 4, the Ruiden one, which is the one that we both agreed was the best episode, and the one they had to nail, and also at the same time the one that should have been the easiest to nail from just a purely storytelling perspective, because if nothing else, it's laid out so easily for you. There's no need to abbreviate it. There's no need to condense those scenes. It's right there on the page. So they did a good job. Well done there for that. But it was too little, too late. The third season just couldn't recapture an audience, I guess. And Amazon, for one of its many failings, decided to sink all of its energy and time into another, in my opinion, failure of an adaptation, Rings of Power, rather than stay the course, work with the course correction that was happening, and continue on making the Wheel of Time, because it'll go down as the biggest waste of money and time in history for them, because they sunk a lot of money into it. And I know sunk cost fallacy is a total business thing, but fuck you, Amazon, for ruining one and propping up another while simultaneously ruining it. Like it's awful. You got the worst of all the things combined. You couldn't do anything right, so you fucked it all up.
Yeah. Like, the thing I'll never understand is why they wanted to have 2 flagship fantasy series running
concurrently.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and compete with ourselves.
Yeah. I know, right? I'm red as shit. But no, yeah, exactly. They competed with themselves in just like the worst way. I just don't like that rationale. Just never made sense to me. Like, either focus on Wheel of Time or focus on Lord of the Rings or Rings of Power, but don't do reload. But don't do both. Yeah, like.
And what would have been genius is to have them run after each other, one after the other. Like, man, you could have sunk all this energy into simply just Wheel of Time, and crush that, and build this whole like fantasy following, and then while Wheel of Time is like, just crushing it, coming to an end, you know, you're in like the final 2 seasons. That's when you start filming the Rings of Power stuff. And you've had all this time to fine tune what works on television. You have a ton of time to work on a fantasy IP. You have a ton of time to work on an adaptation. You've got a ton of writers. I guarantee you there's crossover in the writers' room between Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings fans. There has to be. So you could have used that experience and kept it going, and you could have guaranteed like a loyal, epic flagship fantasy show for decades instead of some two, at best, mediocre ones for a few years that people are going to forget. Like, let's not think that either of those shows have staying power at this point. Wheel of Time is going to go in the dusty annals of failed television shows, and Rings of Power is going to go into the anal side of the annals. In not even dusty, it's going to be in like the anal fissure category of the anals. It's terrible. It's so sad. God. Amazon, I know you're not listening, but you should be. You should feel bad about yourselves.
No, it's I'm lost for words when I think about Rings of Power and Wheel of Time. Just what could have been had just any one of them had been truly competent. Like, just, my God.
And we'll never know the full story behind anything. We'll never know how much of a fight it is between the writers and the studio for both shows. We'll never know how much the writers wanted to bring in and how much they were stymied or what the constraints were. And we know that the first season, Amazon was the one who kind of wanted to create more mystery around who the dragon was. We know that Amazon really tried to interfere with the way that the story was told. It's just, and studios, take note. Let the fans and the showrunners, those with the passion and the writing chops, run the shows. Bean counters, I mean, this is probably something that Hollywood has dealt with since Hollywood existed. But get the fuck out of the way sometimes, right? Studios, like, you know, you can't. I know that you guys don't think you're artists. You're in the business of money making, but man, I'm not in the business of giving my money up for soulless IP money grabs. Like, fuck that. I'm a millennial, damn it, and I want to spend my money on good things, not on shit.
I mean, like, you can't, like, you can't approach art from a financial standpoint in this respect. Be like, what will make me the most money for, like, bang for my buck? Like, unless your story is good and the product that, I mean, unless people want to fucking watch the show, you're just gonna lose money anyway. So might as well just get out of the way. Let the people who know what they're talking about do what they're either naturally talented to do or, you know, like, studied to do, and let the chips fall where they may. But don't just take everything from an actuary table and call it good.
And one of the things too about being a studio and about making art is that sometimes you need to take a risk, which means you need to gamble a little bit more and trust. So Amazon had one part right. They gambled on a young, relatively unknown super fan or self-proclaimed fan of the series to run it. So good on them for taking a gamble on somebody that is passionate about the books and is young and unknown. Then they fucked it all up by not putting any trust on him until the third season. And then finally letting him tell the story that was already on paper. Again, you're not doing this the right way around, Amazon. And what do I know, right? I mean, genuinely, I do not know how to run a television show or a production larger than a kitchen, right?
Yeah.
So this is all stuff that we're saying we're armchair directing or studioing. But when you fucked it up that badly, I have all the leeway now to tell you what you did wrong. Because if it had been a success, great, fuck yeah, you know more than me. But you failed. So clearly, at best, you know more than me. I'll just go with that. You know more than me, a layperson, which is pretty pathetic, considering you get paid how much money to make this shit happen. But Amazon Studios needs to be profitable. No, it doesn't. Screw you guys. Amazon Studios exists to make the brand Amazon sound better while you sell emu light dropship shit from your web store.
No, absolutely, you don't need to make Amazon MGM a complete financial success. Like, they have backing of Amazon. You can just I mean, like, HBO wasn't a financial success at the very beginning, but they came up with, like, the fucking Sopranos and shit like that and became a financial success. Like,
and maybe Amazon might have been a financial success, or Amazon Studios might have been more of a financial success had they allowed some of these shows to actually run their course. When you've got a show that's just hitting its peak, that's just finding its stride, and then canceling it arbitrarily in favor of another one that you signed a really bad contract for, Oh, that's bean counters fucking up bean counting. Like, if you can't even account correctly, then I can't trust you to direct or produce well.
Yeah.
So this is just us bagging on Amazon as a studio right now and giving the show a pass. Let's not give the shows a complete pass either. Because for what it's worth, someone wrote all those scripts for The Wheel of Time. Somebody was in charge of adapting the Rings of Power. And they failed.
This is why I don't like whilst you were like saying like, you know, like this is just like the layman's kind of breakdown of what was going on, and you know we might be kind of talking full of shit, but if you don't come up with like a good product, you know, like we have like the right to tell you. I totally agree with that, but even with my lack of understanding of the industry, I have a very good understanding of storytelling, and everyone pretty much actually has a good understanding of storytelling. And it is not a complicated. I mean, like, to create a good story is a complicated thing, but for average people to understand good storytelling, it is almost as innate as like fucking breathing for humans. Like, we've been telling stories for as long as we can speak, so we know when we hear bullshit and we know what it is.
That's a good point. Yeah,
all that writing and all the like the flawed plot lines, the stupid holes in Rings of Power, the completely forgetting that people get stabbed and should be dead but are still alive, like all those just lazy decisions do not get washed away by us not knowing anything. It's just like, yeah, like you guys are just shit at what you did. I mean, like, technically in this respect, like the cinematography of Lord of the Rings, obviously Lord of the Rings, but of Rings of Power and of like Wheel of Time, like I'm like, or like the music of it, or the editing of it, or like basically like the general execution of like the cameraman, all the things that bring it together minus the story were all there. Like there weren't neither one of these shows was lacking.
No, what did I just do that for? Whew, I almost teleported myself.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was going to link I just wasn't paying attention. I was like, oh, link it now, and hit it, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Well, now we'll have to relink it. But it's not like either of us was going to pack a punch in the next round anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But no, yes, like all the technical aspects of the shows and shit like that are all fine and are competently done.
Technically, yes. But let's think about the set dressing and appearance for Emond's Field. While they built it all, and then they destroyed it all for realism's sake, did you feel like the people in the place were actually real? Like, yes, physically real, but I don't know, there was something a little bit too new and clean. Like, it didn't look lived in. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
And I'm not saying I expect everyone to look like fucking dirt-scratching piss farmers. Like Peter Jackson makes everyone look.
Yeah, like, because, Evans Field isn't described as being, you know, dirty and disgusting and full of, like, just mold. It's, you know, it's a nice country village.
It's the Shire.
Well ordered.
I mean,
yeah, but you are right, though. Like, everything felt rather, fresh, new, and, like lacking a semblance of, like, time.
Yeah.
And even the clothes, like, I will say, like, they weren't, I mean, like, I'm not expecting, like, just a bullet of dirt and rags.
But they should be farmer's clothes.
Some sort of, like the colors should be faded. They shouldn't look like they were just freshly dyed, and they sort of do.
Their boots should be a bit old and cracked and well-worn. I mean, Matt has an entire rant about boots.
Yes.
You know, these are farmers and craftsmen. No one there is nobility. They literally don't have nobility in the Two Rivers. So everybody should be sort of plain, humble looking, but clean and well respected and taken care of and healthy. That's kind of what I expected to see from Emond's Field. And that was true, except that it also felt too small, too cramped, and too set-like. That's what it is. It felt too set-like. Like a soundstage rather than a real place.
Yeah, I'll definitely, I'll agree with that.
But beyond that, also, the cinematography, all the places they shot, the locations they built were great. Alcair was garbage, but that's because they went too real instead of trying to find something fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Alcair was just the most like underwhelming, like an actual bowl, like a tiny little divot in the fucking desert. Like, that's the best you could come up with.
What would have been better was honestly just like transplanting Red Rocks Amphitheater. into the desert, and that would have been a better bowl kind of thing because it's already a natural amphitheater and it already naturally amplifies sound and stuff like that. So that, now that I think about it,
that would have actually, that would have worked so well. And then you just change, and then like the background, you just change it for the CGI.
Honestly,
like
I don't even know how much you have to change it. Like, it's red, yeah, but you're kind of already in a deserty area there, right? I mean, for those of you guys who have heard of Red Rocks but have never been there, it's a really, really impressive natural stadium up in the foothills of the Rockies, outside of Denver in a town called Morrison. And it's red rocks, surrounded in the high desert and the plains and the foothills. So it is kind of dry and arid up there already, but it doesn't really look like the waste, I suppose. It's not the waste. It's too lush for that. Yeah, either way, I'm getting far afield, but that would have been. But it would work. Like that is what I always had pictured for Alkair Dahl, just gold. And they even say the Golden Bowl is more of a misnomer. It's not really gold, but it is a bowl.
Yeah. So like Red Rocks would have, or something very close to it, would have worked perfectly for that scene.
But that's really a pretty small niggly point. Like, the parts in the waste may have been the most book accurate stuff they've done, except for the
weird like the girl that
the Melindra stuff that was like hooking up with Lan instead of chasing after Matt. That was
that was weird. And then like how she dies by like not killing Lan, and that's like the Dark Oath, and then the Dark Oath will like physically kill her, which really kind of surprised me because that's not really like that's definitely never specified in the books that the Dark Oath, if you don't obey, and it was always like obey the Dark One, not necessarily obey the Forsaken. So like I never
not obeying the Forsaken is more like they're just gonna fuck you up. In the books, they just torture you in some awful way, or send some sort of punishment on you in some terrible way. But yeah, you're right. That's
like that was weird. But no, but these things are more or less forgivable.
Yeah,
had they
been allowed to continue, because
had they stuck with the story for season 4, because as you said, they were on their course correction. They were definitely trying to get back under the right path. It looked like they had a decent idea going forward. I mean, like when season 3 ended, we were both more or less, like hopeful and kind of like ready for like season 4. You're like, all right,
I was on board. I mean, I think I even titled that video "Amazon Go All In." Like they left it. I'm so happy that Rafe didn't try to create some sort of a resolution at the end of the 3rd season. I'm glad that he went chips all in and was like, no, this is going to be an open-ended season. I'm not going to try and pretend that we're going to tie anything off. No. Like, I want this to keep going. So I'm glad he committed in the right way in that respect. It just sucks that Amazon couldn't see their way clear to keep going as well, and it's a shame that no other streaming service has opted to buy the rights and try to maybe keep it going. I think Apple TV or Netflix could probably keep it going. But then again, Netflix has The Witcher, which they're failing at. So maybe they're not a good idea. Apple TV, I think, might have been a good bet.
I would trust Apple more than I would trust Netflix anymore. Because, like, Netflix kind of, like, destroyed all its good credibility for... on fantasy, or completely on The Witcher. And then also, like, there's... Like, Netflix just pumps out so many, like, one-and-done garbage shows. Like one-season shows that are just crap general. Or if it is really, or it'll be really good, and then they won't. You good?
Yep.
Or it'll be like 1899, where the first season will be fucking epic and excellent, and then you won't get anything more. Or it'll be like Dark, where the first season is fucking excellent, the second season is still really good, and the third season is just the most pitiful fall you've ever seen.
And so the funny thing is, we're talking about adaptations right now, which should be fairly easy to write a story about. Now, adapting things to the screen has its challenge, but from the storytelling perspective, it's all laid out there for you. The beginning, middle, and end, characters, motivations, everything is already spelled out for you. Whereas Dark, they had the other problem where this was really novel, really new, and they didn't know where to go with it. So they had an opposite problem, and yet Dark somehow still got a complete character and show arc, and other shows just get nixed really early. So Netflix, I don't understand what you do.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I trust Apple more right now. And Apple, obviously has more money as a whole company than Netflix does. But I would be I'd be willing to bet that Apple might dump a lot more cash on Wheel of Time than Netflix would. But then again, I might be wrong because they also spent an astronomical amount on The Witcher. But they sucked it. They screwed it up. So no. I'm not giving Netflix any freaking pass.
Apple could just use the CGI effects in the Wheel of Time to advertise like Final Cut Pro or something.
Oh yeah, they could really do that. Yeah, because you always have those stupid commercials. This commercial was shot on an iPhone, but you never see the actual footage shot on an iPhone. You just see a camera shooting something from an iPhone.
Yeah.
So they could just totally do that. Be like, this was all made on Apple, on Final Cut Pro. Apple, the right way to edit, or something like that.
It's disappointing, and we're never gonna be. I mean, it's really hard to please fans as well, and we really try to temper our expectations as well. That reminding ourselves, we even said things like, "Okay, this isn't an adaptation. This isn't a 1-for-1. This is
we came up with
different
like, this is a different turning of the wheel.
Like, fine,
just kind of
it's copium. Yeah. It was copium, right?
It was copium, but it worked because it helped divorce the brilliance of the actual books to the TV show. And it created that mental barrier in your mind where you're just like, all right, I can forgive these flaws because I'm viewing it from a proper lens, not being like it has to be a 1-to-1 faithful adaptation.
I don't have to be a purist.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, for like me, I mean, like, I'm a Tolkien purist. So that's like every time I watch Lord of the Rings, I mean, you've seen it with me many times.
And Lord of the Rings is something that you actually like.
Yes, I like Lord of the Rings, but I still get pissed off at the things that are wrong with it.
Yeah, exactly. So this like, Lord of the Rings, for all of its magic, has storytelling or lore accuracy flaws. But we still love the movies and think that they open the door to the entire genre on the screen.
Yeah.
But no one else has been able to do it since. No one has gotten it right. Game of Thrones didn't get it right. Rings of Power doesn't get it right. Wheel of Time didn't get it right. The Witcher, as far as I know, hasn't gotten it right.
No.
I don't know anyone who's... The new Willow show... Again, it's another remake. It's not an adaptation or anything like that, but it's still a part of the Hollywood has no original ideas problem. Still couldn't get that right either. So I know fantasy is probably some of the hardest things to do. I get it, but only Peter Jackson so far has nailed it. Maybe Guillermo del Toro could have done it, but we only see his kind of more dark fantasy. We haven't seen something more mainstream.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what he would come up with, given the right circumstances.
He was supposed to be in charge of The Hobbit until who knows what happened there.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I have a hard time imagining The Hobbit through his particular style, but I'm still super curious.
Like, would it have been scary? Think about I want to see his part in Goblin Town.
Ooh.
I think that would have been where his idea and his vision really shine.
Yeah. Like in the same respect, like this is a slightly different thread, but like I would have loved to see a fucking Tarantino Star Trek.
Yes.
Like I think that just would have been excellent.
I totally understand why he didn't want to make that his 10th film.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And I definitely understand why a studio would have reservations about it, because it's different.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, but like, if a studio had said yes to that, I would say to him, just like, then make 11 films. This isn't like because like if he, it would be more like shit. What's the car racing one?
Death Proof.
Yeah, Death Proof. It's like it doesn't necessarily fit really into his repertoire, but so you can just kind of call it like an off one. So like he doesn't have to count, like, if he did that, he wouldn't have to count the Star Trek being the actual 10th.
Because it's not an original story.
And it isn't in his universe.
Yeah.
It could just be like 9.5, call it that, or something like that. Or just the side project. Just like, fuck it. I got the opportunity to make a Star Trek film. I'm fucking doing it. I'm not counting it as my 10 pure films that I always set out to do. I'll settle on the 10th after it, but let's have some fun with Star Trek. Oh yeah, that would have been so great. And of course, like you talk about purists and shit like that. It wouldn't have been TOS or TNG or anything and stuff like that. It would have definitely been very offbeat and very, very super unique. Yeah, but I think that uniqueness would have made like magic.
Yeah, the Star Trek universe needs a refresh. We have been stuck with the same group of characters for 60 years now. You know?
Yeah, I
When
mean,
you
like,
think
fuck it,
about
like Strange New Worlds. You know, I mean, you know, like you're even like they've even gone back in time from the original to be like, oh, let's talk about like when Enterprise was with Pike and Kirk was a younger officer and his brother Sam was on the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And
then
like,
we're still bringing Kirk into this, and the Enterprise is still a character, so it's still based around that ship.
Yeah.
And we're still doing the member berry stuff. We got Spock, we have Pike, we have Nurse Chapel, we have Number One. You know, all these people that we've already been introduced to, and all the stories that we've seen referenced before. And then we've got the Picard, which is just the Picard show, excuse me. That again, it's just a sequel following up on characters that we already know about, and we're gonna somehow bring in every single old character, and you know, it's infuriatingly boring. Discovery still has to have different member characters pulled into it. We still have Pike in Discovery. It's silly stuff like that. They just can't get away from these old characters. If you want to, and then Enterprise was of course a prequel, but still, if we call this, if we can say the ship is a character, which I believe it is, well, god damn it, it's called Enterprise, and it's the same damn ship. Just, you know, it's
just a younger version
NX-1
of
instead of the NCC 1701.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
like
just there's no originality left in the Star Trek universe. So we need to refresh. So it's perfectly acceptable to have it be set without the same characters. You can even if you want to have member berries, that's fine. You can say, you know, the Janeway Guide to the Delta Quadrant would be hilarious to have like as a holo novel or something that they talk about. But beyond that, create new characters and new adventures. I mean, do you really think that you're gonna run out of things to do in the galaxy?
Well, no. Like they've already proven they can do it with Lower Decks,
right?
Because Lower Decks has nothing to do with like the archetype of Star Trek, and it is just like fucking around. I mean, on the Lower Decks, and it's ensigns and young people, shit like that. You know, supporting their main officer. Well, when I say supporting, let's just say hindering their main officers and shit like that for second contact and whatever the mission, you know, requires. It is very unique feeling. Like it's Star Trek, but it doesn't feel like Star Trek completely, even though it's set in the same universe.
And there's still a lot of the same broad strokes, exploration. You know,
yeah, exactly.
The thirst for knowledge, adventure, and self improvement. You know, Boimler's a pretty good example.
Yeah, it takes
of that.
a piss out of itself by like doing like the Tuvix episode where like everyone gets freaking spliced together till finally they end up in like this huge amalgamation that they have to like basically blow up. I mean, like, so like, yeah, it's self-aware enough to have to make fun of itself, but it's also smart enough to create new situations and like there's no point. Like, I'm never watching Mariner or Boimler and be like, wow, these characters don't feel real. I'm like, no, these characters feel real, and I want to watch them.
It's such a disappointment to have them cancel the show too already. Like, that's another thing. Why can't I don't know how streaming numbers are actually calculated and what's profitable or not, but that show had to have been fairly inexpensive to produce. There's no big sets, there's no big budgets, and there's no big names to pay.
Yeah.
Like, it's just we can't have nice things and fun things. There's always a constant churning out new stuff. I mean, I'm just terrified of when AI takes over actually producing stuff. And you don't actually have to pay people to do it. And there's going to be whole studios that just churn out AI shit. And we're going to be stuck with that.
Well, I think that actually will... I don't think that will work. Because let's think about it this way. If AI gets to the point, and it will... Because you can already quasi do this. You already have like image generators and shit like that. They will make short movies. It's not difficult to, I mean, like for music and things like that. And then all you have to really do is sort out the voices and like a semblance of like a small storyline and shit like that. Once you have an AI that's able to do that, a studio will not be able to survive on its own because every person who has a semi passion for storytelling will take up that medium and start flooding social media with it.
Especially as soon as, you know, this sort of ability comes to consumer graphics cards, or even not consumer. Like you could theoretically be a really budget content creator in the grand scheme of things. If you can somehow do image generation with like 4 5090s or something like that you're using in tandem to do image generation and this AI stuff, yeah, it's expensive for like a home thing, but in terms of producing a film, it's dirt cheap. You know, you buy that setup for, let's say, $5,000, which is a lot of money for a computer, but it's not really for producing a movie. And you could just churn that shit out. And oh gosh, as long as you give, I really hope not. It's just.
Well, no, it will.
It's just I don't want to watch that shit though. You know what I mean?
Oh no. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's going to be good or anything, but that's why I don't believe that like AI will truly ever be able to infiltrate the television space in totality, because everyone in Bob's their uncle will have this technology. So if a studio wants to survive, they have to do something better than the average person. And when the average person can create a story or a TV show with just a few lines of like prompt to be like, all right, create a TV show set in the mythical town of Worcestershire sauce with the main character of, you know,
Wordy Booster and
yeah, exactly. You know, like it'll become just too ubiquitous, and stories telling from a studio point of view will have to become way better, because everyone will be able to do it. It's like AI art, you know. I mean, like I love looking at AI. Oh, not AI art. Well, actually, it would, no. That is the general. Yeah, it would be like looking at AI art and shit like that. And you know, like I like looking at AI art. It's fun to see because I mean, like there's a buttload of fun flaws and things like that. But it'll never replace an actual oil painting in a museum.
I'm never going to go and like you and I can spend hours in an art gallery. That's never going to happen with AI. I'm never going to be deeply pondering what the artist's intention was, because I know there was no artist's intention. It's an AI slop. And for better or worse, AI is just a really good copy and paste machine. For those of you who don't know, that's really what it does. It takes a bunch of information that we have fed it, copy and pastes relevant data out of it, and spits it out to you. And that doesn't mean that it's correct, or that the data set that it's using is correct, or that it even really understands how to synthesize an answer correctly, and it will confidently incorrectly tell you something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've seen that many times. Even though those people who don't work with AI for, you know, in general will have, you know, used Grok or any of them or Gemini and just asked it a question, and sooner or later you'll get like the weird erroneous answer, and you're like, wait, what did it just try to tell me?
And you know, it's sort of also a people pleaser engine. It tries to tell you what you want to hear. It will answer your question whether it knows the answer or not. It will make up case history and studies, whether they exist or not, just because it wants you to feel like your opinion is being supported by relevant data that it has found for you, whether that relevant data exists or not, or is being misconstrued for those purposes.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's why people fall in love with AIs.
Yeah. I mean, it's even made up legal case law.
Incorrectly too.
Incorrectly. That's gotten itself into the court, and the judges are like, "Wait, what are you trying to argue right now?"
So great, yeah. And I feel bad for kids and teachers and students or whatever who are learning right now. I mean, when you hear about students who are like not passing basic literacy tests anymore, and they're asking AI to do all their work for them or to solve their problems for them. I mean, I remember when Wolfram was first starting to become popular when I was in college. And some of my friends were using it in their calc classes and stats classes and stuff like that to help out. And they were really using it when they were stumped. They're like, I have no idea how to get past this problem here. Wolfram would break it down and help them do it. And that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff that's dope as shit to use. But then now there's a version of Wolfram, not a version of it, but something like Wolfram for everything. Write my paper, solve my math, write my experimental hypothesis, write my book report, solve my plumbing problem. And they're not always, it's taking the critical thinking out of searching for information, so that you and we had to learn how to use Google. We had to learn how to use reference texts. They are just asking ChatGPT to do that work for them, and they will never be able to critically synthesize their arguments and find supporting documents themselves because of it. And it's making everybody worse off. Our media, our entertainment, our creativity, and our young people. Everyone is worse off for it. Everything is worse off for it.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, we've come very, very far afield from talking about Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings, which is a side effect of a stream of consciousness, I suppose. Nothing more fitting for what we do here than that.
It is, but it is, you know, quasi-linked, because, you know, we are talking about, like, you know, stories and using AI as a shortcut and how
Let's
the
sit here and
future
wait for the
will
last
unfold.
zombie, wherever the heck it is.
Yeah. And after that, let's go get Pack-a-Punch.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it's not surprising that we went into this and like how the evolution is happening and the wait. Oh shit. For a second I thought you were like shooting the Zeus cannon. I was like, wait, why is there just green things coming out?
Yeah, because we just know that AI is going to make its way into video games. If it hasn't already, it's going to make its way into television. If it hasn't already, it's going to make its way into all of our favorite it's everywhere, and it's going to be in our movies. It's going to be in Hollywood. It's going to be on the big screen. It's going to be on the small screen. It's going to be on our computers. It's going to be on our tablets. It's going to be on our handhelds. It sucks. And
Yeah.
the big reason why is because it once again allows corporations or studios to chase profit over art, profit over substance, ease and comfort over creativity and triumph, and it's just going to make all content more soulless than it already is. If we think CGI is bad now, oh man, just wait till you can tell it to create a fight scene for you with Arnold Schwarzenegger's face and then just leave it at that.
Yes. Arnold Schwarzenegger's face and leave it at that, yeah. Yeah, boatload of renditions of, like, him fighting, like, Powerpuff Girls and shit like that.
Right? And that kind of stuff is fun
It's
to fuck
the
around
Were-Rabbit.
with. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it'd be really fun to have your generative AI on your computer and be like, hey, build me a 20-second fight scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger fights Roger Rabbit with a cattle prod or something. And then watch what it comes up with, and it'll be hilariously bad, and you can laugh at it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if it's not going to just stay there.
No, it's not gonna stay there. They'll be you know, like all fucking script writers will, you know, just be forced to use AI to come up with shit.
Or AI script. Yeah, that'll be the thing. Write me a script for this scenario. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not rosy.
No.
The future of television, I think, or video games. I mean, like, video games have, like, the potential of a quasi being a little more, like, a little better with AI. Like, let's just talk about, I mean, what you could do, like NPCs can be made way better with AI.
Oh, yeah. See, I think that would be great. Yes, having NPCs that can talk to you, you can interact with them better. Fuck yeah. Use AI for stuff like that. Build it in basically an LLM inside of the game to allow them to interact more. Great idea.
Yeah, like that I'd love. You could. Oh my god, that was close.
Did you almost blow yourself up?
No. I Pack-a-Punched my second gun, and it and we started disappearing as the gun came back to me.
Ooh, so you almost lost your gun.
Yeah.
That would have really, really been a shame.
Yeah, it would. So I got a Pack-a-Punch AUG and a Resonator right now.
I have a Thunder Gun and a Pack-a-Punched Potter's X-Ray, you know.
Yeah, the ray gun. Very nice, yeah. But like another like with AI though, like you could create an actual or a lot more of a complex like do-it-yourself story where you have like point A and point Z mapped out, but everything else in the alphabet is completely up to what you do. And with AI, you have the potential of having a lot more variability and choice in those type of games. So I think that could be really fun to explore.
Some really cool RPG games where literally no two iterations of the game can be identical. That'd be really, really neat to do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there are cool uses for it, you know, and to be fair, AI makes certain things easier. Like they can make things more efficient. It's when you start to rely on it to do the actual art work for you, when you actually take the creativity out of the human hand and put it in the hands of a computer, of a generative AI, that you lose all soul and substance.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The human touch, like in this modern of mechanization, and I know that this is an argument that's been talked about a lot, and it's a huge sci-fi trope too about mechanization and always being like the downfall of like the human spirit or like the soul. Yeah. You know, like there's been many a Star Trek episode and others delving around that. It's a topic of great literature, but it is one of these things that like we're really seeing in rapid time play right now. It's not like when the cotton gin was, invented and you needed more people to suddenly operate a piece of technology because it made you that much more productive. Now we're talking about
you're now taking people out. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're taking people out, and you're taking the very like essence of life. Because I mean, if you want like entertainment, specifically like theater, television, these type of things they're a mirror of society, always. If it's satire or if it's serious drama, whatever it is, it's always a mirror to some aspect of society.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it's something as basic as what is popular in the zeitgeist of that time. You watch Mean Girls, for example. You don't watch Mean Girls because you expect to see tour de force Oscar-winning performances from Lindsay Lohan. No, you watch it because, wow, this gives you a good insight into early aughts American life. Weirdly, It's like American Pie, same kind of thing. What were people making fun of at that time? What were people worried about? What were the fashion trends of the time? What was popular? It's all going to be reflected in the media of the time.
Yeah, period. Exactly. But if you have just an AI on everything, on the script, or if it is just a wholly completely AI generated video and audio and text and music, everything that a person is trying to convey will just not be there.
Now, what might be kind of cool is, let's say you are Joe Blow creative type. You really want to make a movie, and you've got a script, and you love it. Do you think there's room for like someone to do all the creative stuff, the blocking and the scripting and stuff, and then direct the AI to do what you want it to do? Is there a modicum of respect in that? Like you used AI to create everything, but you told the AI how to do everything, what to do, what emotions to display, and directed the story. It's almost like you're the director and screenwriter.
That is the way I think a buttload of small indie movies, the $10 million productions in today's world, or $20 million, those small
I'm gonna pack a punch my other gun. You want to come up here with me?
Yeah. Crap. Oh wait, we need to initiate this.
Balls.
What's this? Red? No, not Red Snow.
Dead Snow.
Dead Snow. Yeah.
That was great. The zombie movie in Norway, right?
Yeah. Like those type. And since we're playing Nazi zombies and talk about Nazi zombies, but it's those type of those type of films that if you you have a great idea, and exactly how the story works and everything, and you yourself know how you want the emotions to play out, and and you direct the AI to all right, opening shot will pan into this. So if you do all that other type of work and you're just using the AI as the image generator and to knit it all together, all the practical things that you would need many people to do and lots of experience, but you yourself are the one in control of the story, and it's your vision. I think that is where AI will become super powerful and super innovative.
And then the thing is too, you could still use that. I think this would work great for animation. Now, what I would really, really, really not want to see is an AI generated voice. I still want voice actors, because I do not believe that the AI, and I know this for a fact from my actual professional work with AI, I know that it doesn't do a good job at emoting. Even when you tell it angry, sad, hopeful, whatever. These are things that go beyond a large language model's understanding. When you tell a human, this is your motivation behind this scene, you are feeling this way because your character has this in his or her past, and now I need you to act angry because of it. That is something that to actually describe that to a large language model in a way that it would be able to replicate a human's response, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know how descriptive you would have to be to make it passable. Now, as a human, you can tell them that, and then they get to make so many cool inferences and artistic choices to bring it to life in a way that a computer won't. So you could use the AI to create the images, sounds of the environment and the places that it's at, and leave the actual acting and voice talents to the humans. I could see that working.
I can see that happening. And in fact, that kind of excites me a little bit because it's going to let a ton of creative people do really cool things without the draconian oversight of a studio like Amazon or Netflix or Apple or MGM or whomever. Look, see, boom, just like that, we're full circle to shitting on Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, like as you were talking about this, like how it could work, I had in my mind an image of of a couple like massive fans creating an animated version of
Wheel of Time. Yeah, can you imagine?
And doing it perfectly, faithfully, and it would just be excellent.
And then getting sued to high hell.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Sued to high hell.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great use of AI when it gets to that point, and it probably will, because for better or worse, AI is here to stay, and our use of it is not going away. It'll just keep evolving, and hopefully we'll learn to live with it, but we're going to have to.
Yeah. You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
No, unfortunately not. And the research is not going to suddenly be arrested. Mm-mm. It's going to continue. There's too much potential value, and there's too many ways to cut actual costs out with it. So, I mean, just for example, like the work that I do probably takes 4 times longer doing it manually than using an AI to help, I would imagine. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's here to stay. We're going to have to live with it. Another thing that AI does that we're playing a game and we're talking about some AI generative stuff. How about generative frames generated by your graphics card to make your video games look bigger? How is that a good and a bad thing? I mean, this is using AI to make the images and the game that you're playing smoother, better, more immersive, with better lighting, etc. So that's all awesome shit. However, it comes at quite a cost, doesn't it?
Yeah. The artistry of the programmers has now been limited because, you're no longer drawing shadows for every scene, and that it cuts a lot of time out, but you're also losing as I said, the artistry of the shot. Modern games look like they do because of this, the individuality of the intricacies that Unreal had, and the parts that gave it charm, or the original Doom, or the original Fear, or just going back to original Pokemon. I mean, this is a little more 2D and 16-bit characters here, but it still holds true that what the animators drew had its own flair and flavor to it, but all modern video games look exactly the same. Even if you're talking the difference between Borderlands 3 and Black Ops 7 is not as great,
which is so weird. Black Ops really is trying to get away, or it seems like they've gotten away from a more aesthetic dark realism sort of thing to a more colorful, bright, I hate to say it, Fortnite look.
Yes.
And and Borderlands had such a unique art style. I really like the way it looks. It's almost like the Archer art style, sort of big blocky, unique looking characters that are simple and yet not simple at the same time. I really dig the way it looked. And now this. Here's the thing about video games. I don't necessarily, and this is me, and people feel free to disagree with me. I don't need my video games to necessarily be photorealistic. I exist in the world. I can look outside and see the stars. I can look outside and touch grass. When I'm in a video game, I kind of want to go somewhere I can't be. So Cyberpunk, I really enjoy the art style there because it's so future dystopia, neon but not, and it's cool. And then you turn up all the ray tracing and stuff like that, and you make it hyper realistic, and you get these great lighting effects and reflections and stuff like that. And all it does is slow your game down. It doesn't actually make it more beautiful, more pretty, or more immersive. I'm just more aware of what the game is showing me, of how much you've pushed the limits of technology, and now I have frame stuttering and AI generation problems. Fantastic. Thank you so much. But when I play a game like Half-Life, which is old, it looks dated.
2002.
It doesn't look even like this, and this is old and dated. I don't think about the age and dating of it because storytelling and what they've done with the characters and the art is enough to pull me in. Like, is it cool to have a remake of it? Hell yeah. But do I want it to look like a Subway I've been in? Not really. I want it to, look different and otherworldly a little bit. And the best way to do that is to have a unique art style. And then use the graphics engine to drive the depth of that art. Drive some of the cool shadows and lighting effects and water effects. Make faces look more realistic. That's all cool stuff. Absolutely. But don't get bogged down by making a game so pretty and unplayable that it relies on DLSS and frame gen to even exist on your screen. That's where you fucking go too far with the AI stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
No optimization at all behind the scenes means that you can be lazy in your coding. And the thing that sucks, though, is that means it really, really shuts you out of playing a game the way the developer wants you to play it unless you have a 5090. Which most people aren't... Most hobbyists aren't cool with spending $2,000 on one component of their computer. The entire computer for $2,000 is doable. One component, like, it's not 1994 anymore. Computer technology has evolved to the point where it's cheap enough, or should be cheap enough, to be available to the masses. Gaming should be available to the masses, not just to the niche hobbyists. Yeah. And don't fucking come at me and tell me I need to buy a console. Suck my dick with that shit. PC Master Race.
Yep, absolutely. And then also, like, another thing about video games. I don't know how you feel about this. Let's see. But one of the things I dislike about modern video games is actors being in them.
Yeah.
Like, that is, like, it's just name recognition, and it's just like, ooh, look, one of my favorite actors is now playing a character, and his visage is, like the avatar that I get to play through. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's a marketing tool. It doesn't increase the story at all. Actually, it decreases it to me.
Yeah, I could give two shits about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like ever since that started, the stories in video games have been just been decreasing at a faster rate.
I really enjoy story-driven games, and having shoehorning in big name Hollywood actors into your story just for the sake of having the name on there does nothing for me.
Yeah, exactly.
What if did you really need Christian Bale's voice in the Arkham movies? Would that have made, or in the Arkham games? Would that have made it better for you? No. Would it have cost more to make the game? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, how much did it cost to get Christian Bale to voice act? Would it cost to get Christian Bale to voice act an entire video game too?
Yeah, I'm sure it's way more expensive that way than just getting, like, the normal voice actors who have been doing these voices forever.
Like, if you were gonna make a Scooby-Doo movie and you didn't get Matthew Lillard to play Shaggy, you failed. But that's the exception, because he's a big name and he's played the character for years. Now,
exactly. None of these actors.
If you turn it around, you're like, no, we have to get Chris Pratt to voice Shaggy now. You'd be like, what? Just like him voicing Mario. What?
Yeah, that was
there not a single Italian that you could have hired to play Mario? He's an Italian plumber. Does that not exist in the world of Hollywood? Like, you can't find an Italian person with a non-stereotypical or racist accent to play it? Like, Jesus Christ. You guys really suck it. And seriously, what casting director made money, like, to do that? Like, guess what I did? I'm so good at my job, I cast Chris Pratt as Mario. Wait, how is this a good thing? What do you mean you're so good?
Oh, no, we're not dead. No, we're dead.
Save me!
We're dead. No. I'm in the... I tried to save you, and then... And I just got swamped in the... Ooh, wow. That's embarrassing. I mean, like, I'm good with my kill shot, my headshot, but motherfucker...
I only had 2 headshots, because I got the ray gun as my very, very first gun, so I just been running around with that the whole time. And I still died.
You can definitely tell, like, the power disparity, too. Just, it's almost a 2-to-1 on kills.
All right, well, I think that about wraps it up for our anniversary game stream of consciousness. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us over an entire year of creating this content for you guys. And really, actually, not for you guys, it's for us. Let's be selfish about it. We're just having fun doing it. It's an excuse for us to, like, get a microphone together and talk shit about things and pretend that we have opinions that matter.
Yes, it's a good brotherly bonding exercise more than anything else. But we do hope that you enjoyed it, and for all of you who have stuck around for this whole year, or for half a year, or for like the last 3 months because you just found us as we're doing our Rings of Power content, thank you very much for being here. We hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. More content is going to be flowing freely this year, Mondays and Fridays, so stay tuned, and we will see you guys next time.